because I've been in Toastmasters now for donkey's years. If you sit to count, your 10 digits will not be enough. It's 11 now this year. So yes, why have I lasted for so long, and why do I keep renewing year after year after year? Well, it doesn't get stale at all. Every year or every meeting, if you break it down from the year to the individual meeting, club meeting, is always different. And if you go to see it financially, if you pay, let's say 1,000 rupees for convenience per month, okay, and 6 months fee, so 1,000 rupees per month divided by 4 is 250 rupees a week. Every Wednesday that you come, you have paid 250 rupees a week. But if you don't come, you have not only lost that 250 rupees, but you have lost the wonderful experience of the new members, the older members giving speeches, etc. It's very dynamic. It's never static. It keeps changing every time. And so if you are someone fascinated by the human being or human personality and the way they deliver, they talk, they express themselves, then I think Toastmasters is for you. That is what I have learned.
So, when I joined Toastmasters personally, I would be called someone who's somewhat like a dog, so to say. Because I was a dumb college guy when I joined Toastmasters. But I understood one thing, that in Toastmasters, there's something about the quality of people who come in. Just some Andu person doesn't come here in Toastmasters. That person has come here with a drive to self-improvement. And that is common among all of us in this room, am I right?
Yes.
We've all come here for self-improvement. And that is such a big driving force for anyone who comes in even at the next. For someone who's very young, like I was when I was a student. And that's what really pulled me towards Toastmasters, and I am still here. I still meet people who have a high drive in life, who are ambitious, they are improving themselves, they share their stories and experiences with us. Now, I am personally very bad at remembering names, but I remember faces. And most of my Facebook friends I can see on my Facebook list, they are mostly Toastmasters. Every single person I have interacted with them. I don't have Toastmasters who I have not interacted with. It's my thing, right? If I don't know the person, why should I? If I've interacted with them, that means that that person has touched me in some way or the other. And that for me is the importance of Toastmasters. How it has helped me develop and bloom into a completely different individual that I was 9 years ago.
Your words have never been spoken, and I'm sure you're underselling your happiness and your things. You're going to look ahead over 24, 25. Now, for the benefit of the guests, Toastmaster conducts contests all year round. So there are primarily 4 contests by the district. Those are the humorous speech contest, the table topic contest, the evaluation speech contest, and the international speech contest. So, Bina, as I said earlier, has been a district champion for table topics contest and has extensively participated in all of the contests throughout her 11 years of Toastmasters now. So, Bina ma'am, how has taking part in these contests boosted your confidence, notwithstanding what the result was?
So, even if you're a new member and if the club allows, like except for international speech contest, we have to talk where you have to complete 2 levels. Humorous evaluation table topics allows you, as long as you're a member in good standing of a club in good standing, means money has been paid. So, if you are, even if you're a new member, join the contest, take part in the contest, because your trajectory moves speedily upwards. It's not a slow moving progress. Okay, now straight away it shoots up, because taking part and preparing for a contest is another animal. It is something else. You have to compete with the rest of them. You have to face a whole lot of judges who you don't know. They are subjective in their marking. You have to face defeat if you thought you did your best and yet you didn't stand anywhere. All these life lessons are packed are packing a punch and they're giving it to you just at that level when you take part in the contest.
You can give us one. Would you like to add your experience as a contestant?
Yeah. So as Bina said, contests fast track your growth. Now why is that? You might have heard senior members say that Toastmasters is an infinite journey. You keep on learning throughout. There is no deadline as such. But when you know that okay, there is a contest coming in a couple of months, you take active interest in giving speeches, giving evaluations, giving table topics, whichever is the contest. And you pay specific attention towards your weaknesses. For me, it is vocal variety. I have been trying to increase it throughout. But when I know that I am going to give a specific speech 2 months down the line, I will practice it once, twice, thrice, maybe even 5, 6 times at multiple different clubs. At one club, I might give it as storytelling. At another club, I might give it as body language. At some other club, I might give it as vocal variety. So once I practice the same speech multiple times, I can see where I was when I started that speech and where I am when I am actually participating in the contest. So that way you fast track your growth because then you have a deadline and you are working towards it. At that point of time there is no place to slack out. And another thing is that I am very competitive. The first year there are 2 contests every 6 months. I came second in one contest and third in one contest during the first half. I came second in one contest and third in one contest during the second half. And at that point of time, only the first winner used to go to area level. And I really wanted to compete at the area level. So the next time international speech contest and table topics contest came around, I practiced even harder. And fortunately during that year, I won. Now we went into COVID and it was online, that's a different story. But the contests give you a deadline to practice and it fast tracks your growth.
So, as a person who has taken part in all of these contests, and I won for the first speech at the club level, but then I came in second. But as someone who has come up on the stage and failed spectacularly, I would like to say, contests are a very humbling experience as well, and they do teach a lot. Now, I know that all of you are distinguished Toastmasters. Now, for the benefit of the new members and the guests, to get the kind of distinguished Toastmaster, you also have to serve as a district officer for 1 year. Now, the DM Robin is a division director for this term, someone who is in the room of the entire district hierarchy. So, how do you think that taking up leadership roles in the club and in the district as well helps and development?
So I mean, a tagline of Toastmasters where leaders are made, not where speakers are made. But somewhere we focus more on speaking part. And of course, that is a skill that is required for a leader as well. And I actually understood that when I took up a leadership role. It's not easy talking to people, let's be honest. One person you have to talk differently. You talk, even if you observe at your home, you must be talking to your mother differently, talk to your father differently, talk to your sibling differently, talk to your pets differently, you talk to your boyfriend or girlfriend differently. So that happens even at a workplace. Now for someone like me, I haven't been to a different workplace. I only work with my dad when I'm the boss. So I don't really have that kind of experience of talking to people. So when I took up I think the role of Vice President, Associate Vice President Education, that was my first lesson in dealing with people. That time, her husband, Hemant Mandekar, was the president, and the Vice President Education had gone somewhere on a trip. I was around VP, like 21-year-old, and that time the MCP had close to 80 members. Okay? Yeah, huge, and everyone was like, I want speech, I want speech, I want speech. Then I have to learn to tell people no. How do I tell 12 people in a meeting, no, you can't get a speech slot in the next meeting? Then somebody is arguing. So what if I have not done all the roles? I want to do general evaluation. And that person is like, I would take that person is like a really like experienced person. He's been, CEO, director in like top companies of India. Okay. I had to tell that person, no, you cannot be generally evaluated. So it was actually Hemant who told me that, so what is age? Age is just number, no. You believe in what you want, he will believe in what he wants. Now you are in the authority. You take the decision that you feel is best. So eventually I learned to deal with people who are elder. Dealing with people, who are much more experienced with me, they try to use pressure tactics and this and that. So that also came up when I was an area director. And now as a division director, I have to have difficult conversations with executive committees of clubs that are probably at the brink of shutdown. How do I motivate such people? Understanding the corporate structure of those companies, how their mentality affects their working of Toastmasters. So you learn so many things as a leader in Toastmasters, right? The main part is understanding people. Understand how to talk to different kind of people. Understanding, even at what professional level they are at, you have to speak to such people also very differently. And when it comes to at least Toastmasters, all my colleagues, I'm very friendly with them. Chinmay knows that. I'm his boss. I'm very chill with everyone around me, and that's my leadership style. That's not everyone's leadership style.
To each his own, I suppose. And this is what Toastmasters also teaches. Your own particular style of communication and leadership as well.
Absolutely.
Now, Toastmasters is also advertised as something which will help you in your professional life as well. Something which will help you network with people. As someone who joined Toastmasters when he was a student, I think, and then he started working, can you, Devasman, tell how Toastmasters has helped you in your professional career?
So I don't know if Mansi or Rahul, someone has given you a tip, but I landed my job because of Toastmasters. The senior members, Toastmaster Aishwarya, Toastmaster Mansi, Toastmaster Arvind is not there today, Toastmaster Swarangi, I've heard this story before, that my boss, CA Bharat Patak, so he is a very well-renowned personality in wealth management. So he knew that I was doing something related to public speaking and that I was also studying finance. So one day he gave me a call that, hey, what are you doing these days? I said, I'm doing nothing, just waiting for the results. So he said, come over, I have an assignment for you. And at that point of time, I was excellent at Microsoft Excel. So I thought it's something related to that. So he invited me over, it was February 2020. And he said, I need you to coach me. And I didn't understand what he said because he's someone with over 30 years of experience in the industry, how can I coach him? So at that point of time, he said that you are good at public speaking. I am good at whatever knowledge that I have. So I need you to construct a speech for me, given the topics that I want to speak about. And coach me about where I am making the mistakes. So we interacted with each other for 10 days. Instead of you, we can say we, so that we can be inclusive. Some small tips like this I gave him. And eventually the product launch was successful. Now after that he called me over for an interview and some different sir took it. And I thought it was just a formality. We have worked for 10 days now, he is definitely going to hire me. But that was not the case. It was a formal interview and I did very pathetic at that. Somehow, the sir who took the interview was head of one department. And another sir who had also coached during this session was the head of another department. And he was looking for someone who can interact with high net worth individuals. Individuals who have portfolios above 10, 15, 20 crores. They require some good communication skills to be interacted with you. If you speak not so well, if you speak something which is not to be spoken in front of them, you lose the client. And even though I had flunked the interview, the other sir invited me, do you want to work with us? And that's how I landed the job, purely on the basis of Toastmasters, when I had done really badly on my basic core skill, which was finance. So you don't know where it will work out. Right now you are investing 6,000 rupees every 6 months. You will say that, okay, I have already invested 18,000. But don't keep that track of that. I had spent only 5,000-8,000 rupees and now I have earned like a decent amount over the last 3 years. So keep working at it and you don't know where it will lead.
some or the other point in time. And change is inevitable. There has been a lot of change in Toastmasters as well. I believe we are going to be able to answer this a little bit more better and effectively. So over the years we had something called as the communication and leadership handles instead of the current pathway. And I believe that was more effective, or at least this is what I've heard. Now, coming to the current pathway and how the district has dealt with it, can you please shed some light?
So, the new pathways rolled out in 2018 and then onwards. But we were such die-hard fans of the competent communication and the competent leadership manual. See, if you're a bricks and mortar person, you want to feel things, you want to hold things. And we had that book and we could fill our names in and we could read all the 10 projects and fill out. So we were very happy with the progression in which it was laid out. Icebreaker, then organize your speech, embellish it, then from the general to particular, and inspire your audience, etc. all the way up to 10. It was a gradual progression upwards. We thought it was very logical, very nicely, gently they dealt with us. But apparently now the current generation doesn't want gentility or gentleness. They want quick and rapid results. So Toastmasters also changed and they churned the entire program into 11 pathways, catering to the company that the or the corporate that the Toastmaster belongs to. So they had strategic planning, then humorous even, then presentation mastery, and then innovative, whatever, etc. All these 11 parts were combined so that their professional life improved. Whereas ours was gentle and laid back and lovely, really. I really miss those books and I really miss the way it was designed. But the old order had to give way to the new, and somehow, very reluctantly, I accepted the pathways. But now I'm wholly into it. Now I don't hanker for the old. But yes, now everyone is taken to pathways and they have to pay for the next and the next for the first 2 or 3 years. But it has worked in everyone's favor, and I suppose.
Encourage that you go out to different clubs, have different groups, different skills. And what exactly does it happen? What exactly does happen when you go out? And again, second part of the question is we have something called as a milestone meeting, something which is a call of celebration for the club. I have seen nothing at many of the milestone meetings, not personally but photographs. But I have noticed that he is at a lot of milestone meetings. Now the question to both of you is, how does going to another club, whether it be just a regular meeting or it be a milestone meeting, and what are the things that difference between those two, facilitates your learning and improves the learning?
So I don't know where I read it, but I always heard this quote that your network is your network. Be it in Toastmasters or whatever profession that you pick up. So even in Toastmasters, you create your network with people. You don't know who's going to be of use to you in the future, right? I mean, I've got a few clients from Toastmasters, and I've given a few references to other people. So the more you roam around, the more you go to different clubs, meet different people, you interact with different. After some point, it gets a bit monotonous, hanging out with the same crowd. So you go to other clubs, you talk to other people, and another thing is when you speak in front of another crowd also, that is a different experience. Speaking in front of the same members can get a bit too comfy. To go to another club and experience the environment over there, it can happen that they'll have a completely different chemistry only in that crowd. In milestone meetings, well, I'm usually invited, that's why I go. But yeah, it's nice to be a part of celebrations of success.
Coming to you, Vivasan, I have heard this little bit. In order to complete your level 2, I heard that you attended around 5-6 meetings every day for a couple of weeks or so. And and then you became eligible for the level 2 for the ISC. Is it true? And what will you do that? What you have done for it?
Not 5-6 meetings every day, but yeah, 5-6 meetings a week I was attending at that point of time, because for international speech contest you need to complete level 2, which has 7 speeches, 6 to 7 speeches, and getting a slot at your club every week is not possible. As Ramin said, that time Toastmasters Sushruth was the VP. The day when I went to him, he said, I will give you a speech 3 weeks down the line. So then it was very hard that I would give 7 speeches within 36 days. That was the time between the Toastmasters ISC contest. So then I decided, you can give speeches at multiple different clubs. So let's try that. At that point of time, there were lots of community clubs. Toastmasters Club of Pune Central used to meet on Mondays. Tuesdays was Vimanagar. Wednesdays was us. Thursdays was one other club. Fridays used to be Vipavati. Saturdays used to be Deccan, Advanced, and a couple other clubs. And Sundays, I guess, was off at that point of time. So, whichever day you want to attend Toastmasters, you had the option to just go and visit the club. And they also won't give you speeches in the first meeting itself. To get something, you have to give something. So, firstly, you go there as a guest, get to know those people. Second meeting, maybe you take up the role of language evaluator, general evaluator, whatever they ask. Maybe there is a backup, someone needs to step in, you step in for them. And once they get to know you, if you ask that, hey, I need to complete this level, can I give a speech next week? Then they will give you that speech. So during those 34 days, 36 days, I attended 23 meetings across 6 to 7 different clubs. And pretty much every club had 20 to 25 members at least attending during that point of time. So 6 clubs, 25 members, I met 150 new people over that short span of 1 month. Where else is a place where within a month you get to meet 150 people on an individual basis, where you meet them one-on-one, who you can recognize on the road and they know what you do. So that way, I got to interact with multiple different people. And the last speech that I needed to clear, our meeting is on Wednesday. The last speech I gave on Monday at TMCP Central, and they didn't have speech launch that day. They go for fellowship after the meeting. So there is one cafe in front of SP College where they used to meet. We sat in that cafe. Distinguished Toastmaster Himanshu was the evaluator. Toastmaster Devesh was the timer. And we had a couple of language evaluators and accountants just for that setup. So we had a short top-up meeting. I completed the level 2. And then I contested during the ISC. And then came second. Still didn't win, but keep on practicing and you will definitely benefit by attending as many meetings as you can.
So yeah, I have noticed this also that when someone from Toastmasters needs some assistance to complete something, the entire community comes up together and tries their level best to help that other person. However, I would like to add that there has been a significant amount of difference when the meeting was offline earlier. COVID team, everything became online. Now it's starting back offline. So do you think this offline, online, offline has affected this bond within the community?
No, I think it is an advantage. If you were to catalog the advantages that an online company, online meeting gives you, I think there are several. I mean, the list could be endless. Because one is you learned to look at the camera, focus on that little light which is on your laptop and speak there. Sometimes you are looking at the gallery, sometimes you are looking here or there. So here your focus was exact on the light. So that is what one taught you. It also taught you to contain your gestures. You couldn't move from or pace. So you had to be in that square and express with your vocal variety and your slight gestures. So it taught you a lot of discipline, it gave you a whole different way, aspect, everything. So I think that was an advantage. I wouldn't discount it at all.
So I do have a couple of cons to address which happened in offline meetings. So some of you who have heard my speeches know that I use a bit of dry humor during my speeches. So whenever I use that over here, I get some feedback from the audience, and then I can bounce off my thoughts, sometimes impromptu, and that feedback was very important to me. So firstly, I missed the feedback whenever I was giving online speeches, because I tend to give some humorous speeches, and the jokes just didn't land online because I couldn't hear them. And secondly, some of the senior members, they got additional responsibilities personally and professionally during that point of time. So unfortunately, they did not enjoy the online meetings as much, and hence we lost touch. Toastmaster DTM Shailesh Ratu, Toastmaster Sachin, Toastmaster Tushar. Occasionally, when possible, they attend the meetings now, but earlier they were regular. So the way you look at us as senior Toastmasters now, we used to look at them as senior Toastmasters. So I feel that is something that I miss due to this offline, online, offline change. But for the new members, I'll urge you that definitely don't take this for granted. Being this on stage is really a privilege, because where else will you get 35 people who are listening to you with full attention? Either you need to get invited somewhere, or you need to pay a crazy amount to give such speeches. So this is a privilege that you have of offline meetings.
Since we are coming to the end of our time, I would like to ask the first audience to ask any of the doubts they have to the panelists. Anyone has any doubt? Yes.
One doubt.
Yeah.
During the poster, by mistake, if anyone do any such poster like for the club, any kind of mistake, sometimes it happens by mistake. The mistake don't happen purposely, it happens. So sometimes they have to understand, and they have to not be so strict to that person, and they have to just guide in a kind manner, so that by making any kind of poster can be perfect.
Wait, Toastmaster. Wait.
Does anyone have got questions related to the new joining of Toastmasters and what exactly can go?
So, any one of you can answer this, but as you just mentioned that in the online mode we lost a lot of members. So there must have been times in your life as well when you thought of not renewing, not coming back here, or your personal commitments taking your time.
Yeah.
So how did you still remain a member, or what drove you to remain a member in those times?
So I'll just take the first bullet over here, because I was not active for the latter half of the online phase, because I personally had stopped enjoying the meetings at that point of time. But why I kept renewing? Because whenever I felt I could just sign into any of the meeting which was going on, and I could relax during that point of time. And whenever, eventually the meetings had to move offline. So whenever we did, I didn't want to lose connect with the friends that I had already made over here. Toastmaster Mansi, Toastmaster Swarani, Toastmaster Aishwarya, and Toastmaster Abhishek who have returned today. So I felt that keeping that connect was very essential. And eventually I would be the senior member attending the club over here. So I felt it was part of responsibility and part for enjoyment that I continued to learn.
So here I would like to add that, see, retention is a great part of Toastmasters. Retention always 35-40%, I don't know the percentages, but new people joining. So it is dynamic, like I said in the beginning. So whether online, offline, I didn't feel ever like getting out, but there were others due to circumstances, geographic or otherwise, that they had to move out of the city. So retention is a part of the business, and there are new members joining in. So that's okay. That's allowed. It's a self-paced program. No one's forcing you. To answer his question also, no one's forcing. It's a self-paced program. That's the beauty of Toastmasters. No one is sitting on your head with a hammer and saying, give this speech, give this speech. You yourself have decided, and you yourself are doing it. And peer-to-peer evaluation is happening. It's a superb place to be. Lovely place.
And I agree with Vivaswa that the human connect is also very important. And during the lockdown, I was not roaming around. I am a very emotional person, and I need people around me. So that's why I was attending Toastmasters. Although I was struggling really badly in my business, I was doing job of 3 people alone. But but Toastmasters really kept me safe.
Only one question. In
Come
would
on,
you please
those Master, once you have a question, you
But
already have
your
one.
question has been answered, we'll do it
But the
offline.
thing is, a mistake happened one
No,
time.
no,
one
no,
time.
no, no,
That's
now don't
not-
go there. Relax.
I think that's the club internal matter.
Yeah.
What is during the club performance?
We'll talk about it later. I have a question relevant to the topic. So we have a lot of new members right now at the club. What would your advice be to them? Because obviously they are attending meetings here, but would you ask them to keep a target, like attend meeting of another club once a month, twice a month, something like that? So what should be their target to grow even
I
further?
very openly encourage people to visit clubs. In fact, if there is any guest who comes to my club and they say I'm from, like, let's say Kothur, I tell them, "Arey, you go to Kothur." Or if they're from Ahmedabad, you go to Ahmedabad. Why you traveling so? But in general, I always try to encourage everyone that you go to other clubs and see what kind of people are there and deliver a speech over there. Like I said earlier, you get too comfy with the same crowd. Eventually, the crowd only becomes your friends. Then you're delivering speech in front of friends, not in front of a crowd. It happens, right?
But I feel here for new members, I would say that don't be a rolling stone, don't go everywhere. Concentrate in your own club, take on various roles, speeches, or just be a listener. So
Yeah.
pace yourself, take on a timer, sergeant at arms. These are smaller roles. Give a speech. After you give a speech, but you have to catch him and make him the TM only. You have to put him in the deep end, otherwise he'll never see.
Yeah, I think the comfort factor plays in there.
Correct.
Get a bit comfortable with your own crowd.
And then bring him in and make him TM only.
Uh-huh.
That is the next best thing to a contest. Yeah, to take charge of a 2.5-hour meeting and to be responsible for it gives him a different
I'll
So
just touch on a final topic related to this question, that mentorship is a very big thing that Toastmasters offers, and sometimes during transitions the number of senior members at a club starts to diminish, then they again grow, then they again diminish, so it's a cycle. So for senior members like me or say distinguished Toastmaster Shailesh sir, I've seen him take up 6-7 mentees at one point of time. So then it becomes challenging for even me to justify that, okay, I can't give you enough time as a mentor. So in that situation, you are always open to attend multiple different meetings. Say you go attend TMCP's meeting, Ravin is there, then you can ask him if he can help you with a couple of things. You attend Aun's meeting, Pina ma'am is there, you ask her a couple of doubts. So that way mentorship is not just related to your own club. My own mentor, distinguished Toastmaster Kunal, was from some random other club, and he is not even a Toastmaster anymore. But if I have some doubts, I do go to him occasionally. So looking for mentors is one good reason to check outside your club as well, because the members in your club are always available to you. The members outside your club can give you a different perspective.
I believe there was a question at the end.
I have actually two questions, but given the time constraint, you can answer it. First is, do you ever feel saturated during this whole journey of Toastmasters? And second is, we have many clubs across like international arena. So will it be helpful for me to attend any club which is online, which is held online from India, and how to approach it?
saturated. Never. Because I said it's dynamic, so you can move from here to there, from role to role, but just be a listener. I think God has given us 2 years, 1 month, so we have to listen doubly. So it's better to absorb what the Toastmasters are saying rather than keep talking. That is, so no saturation point. Otherwise you would have left. I mean, the immediate result is that you leave. And I don't know, online saying.
Yeah, for me, I have found it saturating at times. Especially when you're doing some kind of leadership role, it can be a bit saturating. Like, your family is asking what you have family business, no? What Toastmasters not paying you also?
Yeah.
That's always going to happen when you take a leadership role in Toastmasters. I have felt saturated at times. But there will be so many other situations. Yeah, you'll be
Frustrated.
maybe. I don't think frustration per se, because what happened in Toastmasters is where we are going to carry it for years together. Oh, problem ho gaya. I'm not that kind of person. But yes, it can happen a bit too much. But I'm still here, right, after 9 years. I've done so many ex-com roles. I've done 2 leadership, district leadership roles also. What has kept me here is my drive to self-improvement. And again, that's what all we are here for, right? And when it comes to improvement, you can't make these excuses. I'm feeling saturated. I'm lazy. I don't feel like doing Toastmasters anymore.
So I'll just conclude with the final point. I guess we are on that time over here. That imagine you get a sword, you sharpen it, it's ready to cut, and then you pack it and keep it. Eventually, when you actually require to use it, it's not sharp anymore, it's rusted. Similar happens with your speaking skills as well.
Yeah.
When I rejoined actively as a member once again, I also had started fumbling quite a lot on stage. It wasn't a confidence related issue. It was just that I was not used to speaking. Even though mentally I know that I can, it was just a physical habit that I had lost control of. So that's why keep attempting even if you feel that there is no growth, because maintaining the level is just as important as growing. So that's, I guess, my final thought.
So I must say I've had a lovely time asking questions to all of you, and I've learned a lot, and I'm sure even the audience has learned. I'd like to thank all of you for taking time out of the schedule and